All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, Wayfarer. Let's try this again. Let's see if the sound quality is coming through, number one. And double check everything on my side to make sure we're looking good before I proceed. Yeah, looking good, sounding good. Because last time I ran like the first 8 minutes of the video and my microphone was turned off. So welcome back, guys. Good to see you again. This is First Impressions of the Hermetic Tarot with Frank Monday, broadcasting to you from the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon here in Twilight Zone, Old Peking, far behind the bamboo firewall. Coming at you once again like Finnegan. So if you've got a yen to expand your ken, then let's go ahead and get Zen, guys. Welcome back. I apologize for the first transmission falling flat. Make sure you take the opportunity to hit the like buttons, guys. People seldom do that, but it does help out the video. There it is there. Hit the like button, like and subscribe. All that happy horse shit that makes YouTube's algorithms bark like Pavlov's dog. All right. Because aren't we all just barking for the dog? You're Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon Frater, Frank Monday, wishing you well, dear Wayfarer. Please check me out on buymeacoffee.com. Put a little something, something in the tip jar. That'll help out, right? That'll put the lead in my pencil, the pep in my step, and the jelly in my donut. Before we begin, let's start with a short prayer. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of both the light and the darkness, he who was, is, and always shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Please send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Yeah, so my journey with the tarot began when I was a young man, and I had an aunt who did tarot readings, and I was over at her house and I saw the tarot cards on the coffee table, and she decorated her apartment with many occult accoutrements, auras, throws, various rugs and stuff like that, and different spreads. And she had a very witchy house. She was probably, she's an occulted woman. And she let me look through the tarot cards and try to tell me a little bit about each one. And it was later on when I got into my early teens that I started studying the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and their tarot contemplation ritual. And so I've never had the Hermetic tarot deck before, but I think it, according to the title and what I saw online about it, it kind of falls in line with my study of the Hermetic sciences and magic and esotericism of the Chinese, the Oriental sort. So welcome back, Wayfarer. In this sacred space, we're going to let the tarot unfold. Take a moment to take a deep breath. Say a short prayer, perhaps. Heaven and earth, divine spirits and ancient masters, your son or daughter has an inquiry into your sacred and profound book of secrets, the tarot, and we ask for revelation as we unbox this treasure. Breathe slowly and rhythmically, uncovering the veils of reality as we move forward. Let's go through this enchanting ritual together, inviting the spirits of the cards to dance through our minds and hearts. With each reveal, let your curiosity awaken and the magic flow through you. Center yourself. Embrace the cards. On the front is just a really simple black and white photo. Hey, Jesus Christ is here. Good to see you, Jesus Christ. Jesus Cristo is in the chat, guys, throwing out a little love to us. I can appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus is the King. Jesus is the Lord of Lords. Jesus is the Almighty God. Yeah, so it's got a bit of a wheel there. We'll start getting some first impressions and see what they look like. Popping open the deck, guys. First time And from what I understand, these cards are going to be black and white. I'm not sure if it comes with a booklet or not. I'm going to try to get all of them out of the box so that we can see them together. Okay, so a very standard tarot box, red and black and white, right, with the Hermetic on the front. Yeah, the cards are black and white. These particular cards are not made of a very durable material. They're not very good cardstock, in fact. They're very thin. I'm suspicious that these might be bootlegged tarot cards. Let me see if they're even in order as we go through. Yeah, it looks like they're probably in order. All right, let's start with the back of the card. Looks like that card even has maybe some potential damage on it. Now, I did not pay big dollar for these, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I wasn't expecting the authentic thing, right? On the back, it looks like, here, I'll hold one up for you as I look at one. On the back, it looks like it's got what's attempting to be the Hermetic rose cross, the thing that's at the center of the Hermetic, the Golden Dawn's rose cross, but it's not complete. It just kind of has the leaves there. It's all black and white with some patterning around the sides. I don't even know if that's the legitimate Hermetic Tarot back of the cards or not, but I'm going to assume it is, and I'll look through later online. Now, the reasons I got these is because on the Lesser Arcana, they do in fact have the occulted names from the Golden Dawn. So this one is Lord of Dominion, and they also include their astrological elements and the angelic forces of the deacon that surround each one in the minor arcana. So that's what I was looking for. That way, I've memorized it in the past, but I didn't want to have it memorized all the time, so I can access it, right? The Two of Wands here, it's Mars in Aries. I believe that's the first deacon of the fire signs. Yeah, so it would be Aries and then the Mars in Aries. And this one is called the Lord of Dominion. It has the angelic name for Raphael on one side, and on the other, I can't read it, it's too small. I have to get out my reading glasses. But for first impression, yeah, black and white, I don't know. I think I would probably rather have some color on there, but it's a pretty neat looking card, right? He's got two rammed horns there, wands that he's holding in a fiery grip. So it's definitely got that fiery energy, and it's pretty straightforward in what it's telling us. Let's see what this next one is. Okay, so they're going straight through them. Three of Wands. So I guess I'll start with the Wands. I didn't see the Ace of Wands, so I wonder where it's at. Okay, there it is. I'll start with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, and then it's got the Major Arcana at the bottom. So we'll be starting with our impression of the Wands cards. Yeah, they're very hermetic, Golden Dawn style 10. Ooh, the Princess is nice. Bare-breasted. I might have to be careful showing that on YouTube, right? The Queen and then the King. Okay, so I have all of the wands in my hand now, and I'll go through them in primary order from Ace forward. So the Ace I'm looking at here is the Lord of the Root of the Power of Fire. And I'm really going to have to put on my glasses, guys, to be able to see this. The print is a little bit too small for a guy with old eyes, right? And so I'm really going to need clear light and the reading glasses to see these clearly. Yeah, it's a pretty dynamic wand. It's coming up out of some clouds. There's plenty of fire on it. And then I believe it has a, I'll have to figure that out later on. Yeah, so there it is there. I don't know if you guys can see it clear or not either. Bad camera action, guys. Woo. I'll have to figure out the best way to present these to you. Yeah, I like it. So there's the ace. Let's look at the two. We'll look at it together. Lord of Dominion. We looked at this one a moment ago. Mars and Aries. When you're doing your tarot contemplation ritual, you'd like to start with your relaxation ritual and then scanning in about a half inch to an inch of the card at a time, going left to right from the top to the bottom and committing it to memory as you scan through the card, right? And then once you have the card scanned into memory, you'll close your eyes and recreate it with your eyes closed in the mind's eye, right? Scanning through it again. And that's one way to do the tarot contemplation. Then you put yourself into the card, into the action, so to speak. So let's go from top to bottom. Three of Wands, we see Aries and Sun here, the second deacon of Aries. And then we're going to have those angelic Hebrew names. Looks like they're appearing at the bottom of this card this time. It's a hand grasping three wands, and looks like there might be lotus wands, and then one's a sun wand, and then fire rising up from some formations there in the back. We've got the ram's head at the bottom, and the title, Lord of Established Strength. Yeah, so the reason I got these ones is because I wanted to use them for internal alchemy and contemplation of my own. Ooh, this is a nice one. Kind of fun. It's got a couple of goose heads, it looks like, a couple of ram's heads. So I can see that from simple to more complex, these, as we go up in the numbers, they're definitely looking more complex as we go through them. I'm going to double check that sound feed, guys. Make sure we're still doing all right. Yeah, as we go. Yeah, good. So as we go through them, Lord of Perfected Work here. It's got some flaming wands down at the bottom. You see the what appear to be goose heads, grasping something, maybe some fruit here on the sides. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Things coming into fruition a little more. Wow, this is a really interesting one. We've got the symbol of Leo and Saturn at the middle. It's got a couple of alligator heads and lion heads. Five of Wands, what appears to be like a wand of the Hierophant in the middle. It says five, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there are five. There are a couple of the angelic names. Really kind of potent imagery. It's very different from the Rider White tarot that I'm more accustomed to, right? I've never deviated in the 40 years that I've been doing tarot, guys. This is the first time I had the magical tarot that I used for a while. This is very reminiscent of the magical tarot, but the magical tarot is much more colorful than this. And so quite different, in fact. Here we've got the Six of Wands. Again, we see Leo and Jupiter. That's almost like a node, though, but it should move from Aries to Leo, right? So this would be the second deacon in Leo. Yeah, so we can see the implementation in the first one. I guess it's the center deacon, Sun in Leo. Yeah, what's this one? That's still Aries. Yeah, Aries. So that would be the first one. This would be the central deacon of Leo. A lot more fiery imagery, still following that same central theme, though, of most of the wands crossing at the middle, at the zenith of the card, the apex of the card there at the center. Oh, and title on that one was Lord of Victory. Then we move into the Lord of Valor, Mars in Leo, and yeah, Lord of Valor. There's some snaking-like energy. I guess those are lioness tails down at the bottom. The fiery elements taking on more of a geometrical patterning there in the middle, almost diamond-like. some wands with crystals and wings, snakes at the top. Very interesting, almost indicative of the caduceus of Hermes there. The next one, the Eight of Wands. Yeah, showing a lot of good rising fiery energy again. Mercury and Sagittarius, and the Lord of Swiftness. Rising fiery energy there. Good. Yeah, I feel the creative flux, the fiery nature of passion and enthusiasm, strength with the moon here in Sagittarius. Nine of Wands. All right, if we compare it with our more classic imagery of the battle-hardened warrior up against the wands, weary of embattlement, right? Let's go on to the next one. And then the culmination, right? The final thing, the final fruition, all wands being brought to fruition before the cycle starts again. Like Finnegan, here we have what is that? Saturn or Jupiter? Yeah, Saturn in Sagittarius, 10 of Wands, the Lord of Oppression. Yeah, it's almost like a geometric shape of like a net or a window, or an imprisoned type energy being trapped within all of those wands. Yeah, nice. I like it. I can feel that energy there. And now we have the 4 court cards. They're pretty neat, man. Like the very different than what I'm used to. Again, we see over here at the one end the princess, and she has a flower of life, right? Almost like a clover of some sort, and then a winged lion above her. She's bare-chested, and there is a ram off to one side. She is the princess of the shining flame. So I see 2 of the zodiacal fiery energies there, the ram and the lion, but I don't necessarily see one for the for Sagittarius. Maybe that's on this one. Yeah. So we see more Sagittarian energy here with the knight riding the horse, and then the horse's head above him, and flames and lightning around him, and wings, and he's carrying a fiery brand. It's got Scorpio and Sagittarius in Sagittarius. Yeah. And then I think that's the artist's symbol there as well. Almost kind of like a Viking-esque Odinic energy there. Let me look at these next 2. The Queen has a lot of Leonian energy. It says Pisces with Aries and Aries. And then the Prince of the Chariot of Fire is Cancer in Leo, and it's got 2 lions on it. And yeah, I guess so, since he's enthroned on, so we can see some watery elements, water and fire for the Queen. And then we can see some of that 7th card, the Chariot, involved there with the Prince of the Chariot of Fire from that Cancer in Leo, right? And then also another winged lion set at the top. Yeah, so those are nice. I like those a lot. The next should be Pentacles, it says. That shouldn't be the order, though, right? It should be Pentacles to Air to Water. Yeah, so they got them a little bit out of order, though. That's okay. We'll go with the Yud over there, the Yud Hey Val Hey, and then we'll put this one down at the opposite end. We'll go ahead and look through these a little bit and see how I feel about them. I don't know how I feel about that. The art is almost a little bit too cartoonish for me. Like the head is really large. The elements aren't um, proportioned and aesthetically aligned to my liking. But again, this is just some first impressions. This one's a little almost too chaotic for me. There's a lot going on in this with the Queen of the Thrones of Earth. Again, bare-chested. At the top, I guess that's like a rat. No, like maybe a Taurian type energy there going on. The Knight. Yeah, Lord of the Wild and Fertile Land. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm jiving with this art as much as I thought I might have. Calling itself the Hermetic Tarot. I kind of like the Princess of Echoing Hills here. This one's a little more to my jam. Again, though, some of the figures' proportions seem a little bit off to me. With the Lord of Wealth here, there's some, I guess these are lotus flowers. That would be my guess, or maybe even poppies. I'll really have to do some more research into this deck, guys. I got them because I wanted to feel kind of the experience of a surprise, right? We have Mercury in Virgo here. I believe the moon is in Virgo right now as well, if I were to check my calendar. Lord of Material Gain. Again, more of the same, a very simplistic approach, right? With the 9 pentacles and then the symbols of their elements and astrological house. This one's a little more in line. We've got the hand down at the bottom, so they're all a little more indicative of the aces of the Rider White. It's got those same flowers rising up. There's 8. They're almost on the level of like playing cards with some flourished elements as you get down into the lesser arcana, right? The minor arcana. I did get them though because I wanted those elements present and I wanted to be able to see them clearly as I do path working of my own, and then drawing upon the imagery that I've put into my mind from tarot contemplations over many years of study, right? So I should be able to access all of that same imagery and symbology without necessarily overtly relying on it with the card in front of me. So these should be evocative and fun to work through as I get a little more into them. This one has some kinds of crosses, and then the wanzi or the swastikas at the middle of the pentacles. Don't know how clearly you can see that, but yeah, it has some kind of Germanic or Celtic knot. The crooked cross of Thor, or as they call it, the celestial wanzi in Chinese. Again, very simplistic approach with almost like weaving wheels made of wicker or something. The hand down there at the bottom. Not sure how earthly the elements are there. I could handle this simplicity in the first 3, right? Like the ace and then the second and third cards. But as it continues throughout all of the minor arcana with a very simplistic approach, it's just not what I'm used to, and it's going to take some adapting for me. So that was Earth. I'll put that over here far to the right, and then I'll pull out all of the, which should be the water or swords, air. Okay, Earth, air, water, fire. We'll see how these go. All right, there's the king. I'll go through them from ace up this time, guys. We went down from the court cards that time. So the Ace of Wands here, again, it's it mirrors the Arthur Edward White tarot in that we've got a hand coming out of clouds, grasping a sword that's piercing a crown, and then it's surrounded by echinacea on one side and wheat on the other, with 6 yods at the top, 3 on either side, right? Alluding to that 33rd degree, with another god name in the elemental symbol for air. All right. Number 2 here, Lord of Peace Restored. Yeah, this one's nice. I like this. I like this a lot. 2 hands bearing swords with a flower at the center, the moon and the Libra at the top. This one's a little more to my jam here, guys. The Hebrew angelic and intelligence, the spirit of the thing and the intelligence of the thing there at the bottom. Yeah, I can resonate with that one. See how the 3 treats me. The 3, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? How do you like this 3? The swords kind of change up shapes here. We've got that crescent moon type sword there in the middle. Libra, Saturn and Libra, and then more almost Arabic scimitars at the sides. Again, a bit of a deviation from what I'm used to. The 4, yeah, kind of like how the 4 has a repetition of 4 crossed swords in the middle, then 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom for the Lord of Rest from Strife here. But am I really feeling it? Lots of different swords here. 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds of swords. I guess that kind of a reiteration of the theme there. The 5, wow, again, the idea of using birds' heads. Looks like we have 1 of each kind of bird here. Like a swallow or a pheasant, an eagle, and possibly a dove. So quite a bit of bird head action going on in there, with Venus and Aries, the Lord of Defeat. The heads are pointed down. That's kind of indicative of the defeat there. We have some dropping items. It's not all super clear to me yet, man. I'll have to read the descriptions from the actual book. The 6 of Swords, Lord of Earned Success. I kind of like the separating into 2 groups of 3. Again, we see that echoing of the 33, right? 3 on one side, 3 on the other. A lot of flower motifs here, which I think I have seen in each of the elements. So I'm not sure why such an overt focus on the flower motif. 8 of Swords, Lord of Shortened Force. Very simplistic in design. And the black and white, the black and white's starting to grow on me. It doesn't shift your thoughts in either direction, whether for good or bad, right? So with the Lord of Despair and Cruelty, for example, gonna have to be gentle with these cards. Again, the card stock is very thin. There's no edging on it. The whole thing is black and white, both front and back. I could see how it would be useful in path working. I like how the 9 of Swords are all crooked swords. It really shows that kind of discordant energy, almost with like a black hole creeping sun there at the middle, and kind of a scary face on the pommel. Yeah, hello again, Capricorny. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Yeah, these are just some first impressions for me here for the Hermetic Tarot. Do you seems like we talked about it last time. Do you read tarot cards? It seems like it was you or another visitor that said they took their last tarot deck and burnt it in the yard as a sacrifice to the devil, to get rid of it. Ten of Swords, the culmination of the sword's energy. I've been reading tarot my whole life, and I've always used the Rider White tarot deck. And this is kind of my first branching out. I've had other decks before in the past, but I only use them for internal like alchemy and path working. I've never really used them for reading tarot. I just kind of stick to the white tarot for that. The Princess of Rushing Winds. The art is a bit simplistic for me, and the size of the cards is a little bit small, a little bit smaller than I like. The black and the white is kind of throwing me. The aberrations in proportions of the figures as well is a little bit off-putting at first. I have a deck, that's the one I have. I want to learn, but instead I just listen to those who do. I've been studying it for a long time. There comes a point when memory starts to fail as you get older, and you can't keep all those things in memory. I sternly and diligently committed all of the meanings and everything to memory when I was a kid, and at the same time tried to balance all of that memory and logic with intuition and feeling, right? So, wow, that's kind of a thing there. The Queen of the Thrones of Air. She has like a severed, almost bestial or simian type head. Maybe that's a depiction of the beheading of John the Baptist. Maybe that's what that harkens back to. Not sure. All this didn't come with a booklet, so I'm going to have to check online to see if there's a description that comes with the Hermetic Tarot. And this one only almost has like some imp-like figures down there at the bottom. And again, the king here is a prince of chariot of winds, and some somewhat disturbing imagery in these cards. I'll have to figure out what's going on with all of them. I know I'm the devil in the tarot. So yeah, the devil would be Capricorn, right? Is that correct? If memory hasn't failed me. Before the devil is Temperance, which would be for some reason I always get that screwed up. Aquarius is the star. So Temperance is Libra. Is that right? No, that's wrong. I'm still fucking off on that. And I just looked it up the other day too. If I go through when I go through them together with you, then I'll be able to recall. But just trying to pull it out of my head, sometimes I have a hard time. Yeah, and then after the devil is the Blasted Tower, which represents awakening, like a great awakening and a great, you know. So here are the cups, and let me see how I'm feeling about the cups. Yeah, the Ace of Cups here, I kind of like it. It's nice. Again, I'm not exactly sure if it's what I'm going for, though, for myself personally in a deck. I'll have to spend time with this one and see how it grows on me. I bought it for very specific reasons because I like the Hermetic imagery, and I wanted to have the astrological and planetary symbols right there on the cards. Oh, the death is Scorpio, huh? The death card is Scorpio. All right, let's get into them. And Let's get into the major arcana and see if I can remember all the way through them. Scorpio. So after Scorpio, the blasted tower, that's nothing. I think that's a planet or an elemental energy. Let's go through them. So the first one is air. Yeah, see, so it's nice. It's got it right there with the Fool, the Ein Sof, the energy flowing into Keter at the top of the tree of life before it's manifested. And I would put the magician at Hokmah and the high priestess at Binah. And then that would put the empress at Daath and the emperor at Hesed. But different people do that different ways. Some might place the Fool before the start and the magician at Keter. But I think that's incorrect. Okay, so the magician representing Mercury. Yeah, this is very mercurial. Now, I think it was the major arcana that sold me on these cards. I like the major arcana a lot better. Very interesting energy for the Magus of Power, the magician. And so our zodiacal influence in the major arcana would begin with the Emperor at Aries, right? So we're going to have next up the high priestess, intuition, the priestess of the silver star, and then she represents the energies of the moon, and the Shekinah, or the reflected light from Hokmah, wisdom and understanding, right? And now the Empress, and again I would place her at Daath. Yeah, this is kind of a fun Empress card. I like this. Her astrological reference would be Venus, the phoenix there at the bottom, being reborn. That's nice. The priestess of the silver star. Then Aries, the son of the morning. Yeah, so that Aries symbology, a bee, a ram. Wow, yeah, that's a pretty neat card. And then it's got the Hebrew letters up on the side. And so the Hebrew letters, again, should it start with Aleph at the Fool? I don't know. Some might say that the Fool should be Tau at the end, and that Aleph should be the magician. So it just depends on how you feel about that. Okay, we're up to the Emperor. Then we've got Taurus. And that's got the Aleph there at the center as well. I can see the Taurian energies with the horns there. But that's almost got like elephant horns, right? And this would be fifth card, the Hierophant, the Magus of the Eternal Gods. And then next up would be 6, or Gemini, right? Okay, so yeah, I remembered that correctly. And the Children of the Voice Divine. Interesting. The Lovers. Gemini. Yeah, I just don't know if I'm seeing it in that or not. It's going to take me some time to get used to these cards, guys. After 6 comes 7, Chariot, which will be Cancer. Yeah, good. Yeah, the dual sphinxes there at the bottom, the crab, the Lord of Triumphant Light, the Charioteer, the Merkaba in Hebrew, right, with his Uma and Thurman, the lights and dazzling of the heavenly kingdom. Moving forward, veracity, verification, victory. And then after that comes 8, Strength, and Leo, Lust for Life, the daughter of the flaming sword, Fortitude, Strength, Courage, the Leonian lion there, a cup of flaming energy. All right, so 9 would be the Hermit, what comes after Leo? Is it Virgo? Fire to Earth, yeah, Virgo. So it should be Virgo. The Hermit, representing examples and demonstration, guidance. Yeah, Magus of the Voice of Light. Okay, yeah, Virgo. the Hermit, the Yud. So we've got Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Hey, Vowel, Zain, Teth, Teth, Yud, Kof will be the next one. Lamed, Men, Noon. So Kof, the 10th card, cycles the Wheel of Fortune. Don't think it has a zodiacal association. I think might be a planetary or elemental one. It doesn't represent Libra, right? That should be the next card, Justice. So Lord of the Forces of Life. Okay, Jupiter. Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune, the great planet of good fortune, Jupiter. Next up is going to be Libra then. And then after Libra comes Scorpio. So Scorpio should be the death card, not the devil. So we've got Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. I'm pretty sure I'm correct in that. So Justice should be Libra. Yeah. Very powerful Librarian energy, balancing things, changes in your thinking, the daughter of the Lord of Truth, the subtle arbiter, the balancing of forces, got the yin yang. Yeah, this one's nice. I like this. Justice, Lamed, Mem, Noon. Yeah, so Mem will be water, and the Hanged Man, Lamed, Mem, Noon, if I'm correct. Yeah, Mem, the Hanged Man, represents the spirit of the mighty waters. Oh, you said Capricorn's the devil. Oh, yeah, there you go. I thought you said Scorpio. Scorpio should be the next one coming up. Yeah, this is nice. It's got the Ankh inverted. Wow, he's got a Star of David tattooed on his ass. That's kind of fun. There's waters in the background. This one's Neptune and water, but Neptune was not one of the primary planets. Okay, so without looking, the next one will be the Death card, which is the Hebrew letter Mem, the 13th card, the M, and then Scorpio. Yeah, this should be right. Yeah, there's the Scorpio. It's the Death card, the Child of Great Transformation, Metamorphosis, Transmutation, the Mesmerism, the passing away of the material, passing through gates, Memento Mori, right? Double M, all that Scorpion energy, secrets, hidden things. Yeah, nice. After that will be Temperance. So from water to fire, right? So is that Sagittarius? Yeah, it should be. Yeah, that's why I always get that wrong. This is planetary, though. So Temperance, the 14th card, because then the 15th card will be Capricorn. So yeah, that should be Sagittarius. Oh, there it is up in the corner. Okay, excellent. So we'll see if we see that Sagittarian energy echoed. Yeah, not necessarily. There's a dragonfly on it. The angel is pouring both lightning and water into a giant cauldron, flanked by two vultures, daughters of the reconcilers. This one is interesting. Next up, 15 Capricorn, the devil, Lamed Mem Noon. Lamed Mem, so the in, right? No, Lamed Mem Noon. Wow, we already passed that. Oh, okay. Bondage to the material, the lords of the gate of matter. There's an imp, a couple of demonic imps at the base of his cube, a very wicked looking Baphomet creature at the middle with an inverted pentagram and a flaming torch. Then a wicked little bat at the top. Very Saturnian energy. Yeah, Saturn, Capricorn, Whoop, whoop. There you go. Nice. What does it say off here? Pile. Pile. Not familiar with that one, man. I'm gonna have to go back into the books and study. Next up, the Blasted Tower, Mars. Yeah, representing Mars, the Martian energy. Lords of the Horse of the Mighty. The two Trees of Life, the positive and negative one. The tower getting blasted down. Looks like only one figure falling from it, though. Interesting. Almost an Egyptian-like tower. After 16 will be 17, the star, which is finally Aquarius, right? Oh yeah, right off the top, that Aquarius energy there. The dual waters being poured in. Interesting tree of life there, one I'm not familiar with, at least in the design, the proportions. The peacock perching atop the tree of life. There should be 8 stars though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I guess the center one makes the 8th star. The 7 primary planets there. 19 is the sun and expansion. Oh no, moon, my bad. 18 is moon, 19 is sun. I was right. Wow, this is kind of a cool one. Ruler of flux and reflux. A couple of like jackals or anubis type creatures weighing the soul after death, right? The scarab of dark night, a pair of towers, deception, again, hidden things, dreaming, often tied with drug abuse and so on. 19, expansion. This should be a bright, happy card, right? Yeah, a couple of gals dancing under a full, maybe a solstice, right? The summer solstice, or pure energy of the sun. I like this one. Now these ones, the proportions of the figures are more aesthetic, and their heads thrown back in revelry and dance, but not necessarily indicative of virgin and youthful energy. Yeah, youthful energy, maybe virgin energy. Kind of a baffling one. Next up after the sun is the final judgment, and then the world or the universe, the cosmos, right? So what planetary aspect does the final judgment represent? Is it Pluto? No, it's an element. Okay, it's fire. Yeah, the Shin. Yeah, the fire energy of the Shin, the spirit of the primal fire. Yeah, I like this one. They've got a turbaned Arab blowing on like a horned instrument. It says that it's representing Uranus, and then there's kind of a sphinx-like genie almost creature, and then a coffined creatures rising up out of the death and being resurrected, called unto the final judgment, right? And then finally, what's their world card going to look like? Is it cosmos, world, or universe? And this represents the Tau, the final letter of the Hebrew alphabet. We'll see what we got here. The universe, okay. Almost like a Janus double-headed Freemasonic type double-headed eagle. Taurus, and that looks like a node symbol, but they're drawing all of their Leo symbols that way, right? But I believe that should be the north node. Then there's kind of a kingly figure down at the bottom, some cosmic energy in the middle with almost like an eclipse. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. What do you think? Yeah, do you see an eye in there? I don't know. Yeah, kind of a thing, right? Wow, it took me nearly an hour to go through all of those, man. I knew it would be a lot, 78 cards. Um, Even just a few seconds per card. That's going to take some time, right? And I didn't give a lot of insight. Okay, it's a mixed bag for me on these. Uh, at first, I thought that the black and white would be refreshing and appealing, something new, something I hadn't played with before, something I haven't experienced. And it'll take some getting used to. Well, hell, my last tarot deck, the Pamela Coleman Smith, Arthur Edward White Rider Company deck, I spent 40 years with that deck. So, but this time I bought 5 decks and they gave me 2 free decks. The first free deck that I opened on a short, I didn't care for it. The quality of the cards it's not very high quality. So I'm not expecting these to go through a lot of abuse. And because they're not lined as well, right? Like it's just like straight up really thin card stock with kind of almost just slightly larger than playing card size. I'm just gonna take it real gentle with these guys, and I cleaned and dried my hands. I said some prayers before I messed with them, and just going in it fresh, man. First impression, how would I rate this deck? Yeah, I have the basic. I got so many copies of the basic rider deck. In fact, I bought another one that's like in a tin case. It's got gold edged, and it's really artsy. It's called the Art Nuevo, I think, Rider White deck. And I've got like a deluxe version of the Rider White deck. I got a miniature pocket version. I've got, I don't know, probably 15 Rider White decks. And I use the like the pastel, I think it's called the Centennial Rider White deck that's kind of got muted colors. And you give it a 7? Okay. So out of 10, well, I'll rate it in three realms. So quality of the cards is pretty low. So I'm thinking like a 3 out of 10 for like card stock and durability. They're almost like paper thin. I could see light passing straight through them. So I would rather have a thicker card stock. Again, that's my fault because these are bootleg decks. I'm pretty sure the price I paid for them, getting them here in China, I'm pretty sure these are just straight bootleg decks, nothing else. I couldn't even order decks actually from US Games Company and get them shipped here. There's just no way for me to do it, right? They can't ship to Chinese addresses. If I want to buy the ones that have been bought abroad, like in the UK or the United States, and then purchase them from dealers here in China, I am going to end up paying like $70 to $100 US per deck, which I'm not going to do. I think I paid $5 or $10 per deck on these, which is more reasonable. I think decks are pretty expensive though in America now. They're running $30, $40 a deck, right? So you get what you pay for. I'm only going to give these a 3 on quality. As far as if I had the original ones printed by the US Games Incorporated and in the States, probably be better. But the art's still there. The backs are the same. The art's still there. So based on are they what they're advertised, right? Are you getting what's advertised as far as the imagery and the art and symbology? I'd say yes. I give that a 9 out of 10. The only shortfalling for me is that the artistic quality isn't quite there to my liking. Like I said, the proportions are just a little bit off. Like the heads seem a little bit larger than their bodies. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe I'll get used to it and maybe it will become more pleasing to me over time. But the only place I'm going to knock it 2 points. I'm going to knock them 1 point for what appears to me to be some strange, yeah, definitely strange, arbitrary proportions on their figures in relation to environments and so on, and almost giving it a kind of comic effect, which doesn't really appeal to me personally. And then the other part I'm going to knock a point off for is the absolute simplicity of their minor arcana. Now that may be appealing to some, but that kind of knocks off a point. But I knew what I was getting into when I ordered this deck. I've got the Egyptian deck to review, the Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. I've got the Occult deck, the what else? The Art Nuevo deck. That's the 4th one. This one, the Hermetic Tarot, is the 5th one. And then I've got one other deck. What is it? I don't know. I posted something in my posts earlier this week. So I got like 5 or 6 decks to review. Finally, the last category I'm going to rate these on is my own personal feeling towards them after purchasing them. Now I'm giving them an 8. I think they delivered on what they said they are. So as advertised, if you read the advertisement on the US Games website or whatever website you're looking at, you're going to get the product that you're that's in the description, right? They're going to give you what they're looking for. They're black and white. They've got all of the astrological and planetary imagery in addition to the core symbology and the Hebrew as well. So it's all there. I give them an 8. They delivered there. But as far as my personal feeling and whether or not I'm going to feel comfortable using them for pathworking, I'd say for pathworking, I give them a 6.5. But for tarot reading, I would go lower, like maybe a 4.5. I don't think I would use them at this point, at this juncture in time, for tarot reading. They do give me a magical, hermetic feel, and I think I can connect them quite easily with pathworking on the Tree of Life. But I'm a little more excited about, let's see, I'm a little more excited, I think, about the Egyptian deck and then the new artistic take on the classic Rider White, because it looks like an upgrade in art. Like it has like that 1920s art, what is that called? Art Nouveau feel to it. And I think I'm going to enjoy those more. Hey, is Voy here? Good looking out, Voy. How the hell are you, man? What's been going on? Voy sometimes likes to come on the show. So if Voy's willing to come up and chat for 20 or 30 minutes, we might keep this going a little while. I was thinking an hour might be long, me fucking looking at tarot cards and talking for an hour. Good God, how boring could that be, right? It's just as boring as it appears. But yeah, if you want to jump up here and I'll do a tarot reading for you, Voy. Even though this wouldn't be my first choice, I would definitely give it a go. And Capricorni, if you've got a question and would like a general energy card, I'd be more than happy. But if you come on panel, I go a 3-card reading, maybe even further, right? I could elaborate from card to card. But when there isn't a direct tangible, visceral connection, at least via voice and maybe image. You know, you don't have to cam up, but at least if I can hear your voice and get your feedback, I could read a little further. But as far as like just reading to a chat box, you know, line after line, I would only feel comfortable like pulling some general energy cards, right? You know, if you had like a category like love or money or health or career, you know, or an upcoming event or something, I could, you know, pull like the general energies around it. But yeah, I wouldn't feel much more comfortable going any further than that. But yeah, if you wanted to come on board with a little voice, a little pithy banter back and forth, then I would be more than happy to dig a little deeper into the mysteries of the tarot. Yeah, without a tarot cloth, too, I don't have a cloth with me. There's just no real good way to shuffle the cards, right? You can ruffle them and shuffle them a little bit this way and that way, but you can't really get in there, you know, and mix them up like you like to, and then see if cards pop out of the deck as you're doing it. And I don't want to handle these too much because I'm going to use them for other purposes. And as a result, I want to keep them pretty near mint. You know what I mean? Yeah, today was my first day back at work, guys. So you can probably tell it's 8 o'clock p.m. for me, and I'm already a little bit tuckered out. I really didn't intend to do a live stream. I wanted to try to kind of do a just like a presentation of the cards, and I thought I could manage two cameras at the same time with my phone and my laptop, but that shit didn't work out, man. Have you guys been keeping up with all the drama in the panel verse with Dirty Laundry and beloved Guru Talcott? That's been kind of fun. Nasty Landry, the booger eater. Nice. I got to get ready for work myself soon. Yeah, have a good day at work. Have fun. 8 a.m. Okay, wow, early morning. Let's see. What's your day gonna look like? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. You don't listen to them, Capricorny. You don't. Okay. I know Voy does. I see Voy over there all the time. But now that I'm back to work, now that school's about to start back up, we've got 1 week of just the teachers meeting and commiserating, lesson planning and stuff before the kids come back. But the kids will come back next week. I'm not going to have time really to stream except for maybe once or twice a week for an hour or two. And then maybe I'll make some videos in between, and I'll make some content for I'll make some content for the 100-day challenge, which will start on the autumn equinox. And then when I get my apartment, I'll set it up so that I can have like something comfortable with a tarot cloth, some candles, maybe a crystal ball, you know, and I'll do regular, you know, online tarot readings, probably twice a week, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, something like that. So if it's morning for you right now, Capricorny, this will be Monday morning for you. So chances are I'll oscillate. I'll either do like a Monday, Wednesday, or a Tuesday, Thursday each week. And then maybe a little something on the weekend. I don't know. Like I might come on other people's panels on the weekend. Yeah, it gets boring. They loop a lot. But that's kind of the point of it. Yeah, you're about to head to work. According to the tarot, you're going to have kind of a day of solitude and introspection and bringing forth examples and chassis, maybe organizing and straightening things up. You're going to have a more conservative, inward focused day, according to the tarot, Capricorny. And you may even have an encounter with a kind of mentor or guide. Someone might bring you a boon later in the day. So that would be fun. Oh, have you been listening for 4 years? I got involved about 6 to 8 months ago. I think it's close to a year now. I think it was about this time last year when I discovered Jack and started listening to him fairly consistently. Like he was only doing about an hour at that time. Um, he's got about enough stamina for about an hour. It's about the same with me. You think that he cross dresses in his free time, Voy? Because you put a little dress up there. Is that a dress? That looks like a dress to me. Is that a woman's dress? Yeah, I think he might put on stockings and a wig and some lipstick when he's off camera. What do you think about that, Capricorny? Voy, you got anything going on right now with you? I'm gonna check your time, man. You don't even have to tell me. I got like 10 fucking world clocks set up. I know exactly where you're at. It's 2 p.m. for you, Voy. Is that what's going on with you? Let's see how the rest of your day is gonna go. Heaven and earth, divine spirits, and ancient masters, give me a card of general energy for Voy. Is Voy cross-dressing right now in a dandy aquamarine teal sundress as he sashays about his apartment with a nice curly-haired, full head of hair wig on and some peach lipstick? Is that what he's doing? Please respond to me. I will accept this fortune because it's not my own, whether it shows good fortune or misfortune. Here you go, Voy. Ooh, yeah, you're getting into something, man. You're starting into some new endeavor of contemplation, and you might be thinking about what I just said and thinking, hey, maybe I do need to get myself a pair of panties and some stockings and a nice dress. He's not lying. Yeah, I feel that. You're thinking about something that you need to endeavor to do to cut through, and a lot of mental energy arising for you. Let me check your astrological calendar right now too. It may be a very mental day for you. Where's it at, man? Where I got all this shit scattered all over the place here? That's not it. That's not it. I got none of the right windows open, guys. All the wrong ones. Okay, yeah, here's the right window. Let me give you a nice summary. We're at the end of August, huh? We just got into what? Leo, fire to earth, Leo to Virgo. So we are in Virgo right now, huh? And like I said, I think the moon was in Virgo. Yeah, the moon's in Virgo until this morning. It's transitioning into Libra. But no, it's not. Yeah, Libra, that's an air sign. That also shows mental energy. Yeah, so it seems that the energy of your mental realm is more stimulated at this time, Voy. And let's see what else you've got going on. If this fucking internet will respond. No, it's not responding. How weird. Oh, that is weird. Maybe it's because... Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so stay focused and resolute at this time, for you're about to achieve your objective, Voy. Directness, truth, mental breakthroughs are all possible at this time. It shows when the fog lifts and the words finally come. In the classic imagery, the sword floating upright in the sky, piercing through a crown and encircled by a laurel wreath. It's a symbol of triumph through truth, power earned through precision. The sky behind the sword is usually gray, stormy, but clearing. This card cuts through confusion like a hot knife through buttered sausage, right? Buttered BS is actually what it said. Yeah, so this is one of the 4 elementary talismans of the magician, right? The dagger of air. It's a powerful tool that raises up the rushing and whirling airs. Yeah, cutting ties, cutting through the horse shit, man. Get out there and make it happen, man. If someone's been lying to you or trying to deceive you, you now have the power to bring something to fruition. But it also shows the start and the pure energy of that talisman, and being able to bring forward concepts and ideas with great clarity. Yeah, so you've got a silver tongued opportunity to express yourself, right? It's good magic. I like it. Never saw that coming, huh? Well, you're quite an eloquent speaker anyway, right? You have a gift of the gab. That's why you should never show up on panel and say you ain't got nothing to say unless you want to get kicked the fuck out, right? Motherfuckers be like, don't be coming up on my panel without nothing to say, motherfucker. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna hit the trash can button on you, bad boy. All right, guys, I'm about out of gas for this one. If no one's gonna come up here and play with me, then I'm just gonna fucking head off and maybe do some tarot contemplation. Maybe just do some study on my own. You know, just chill out, and shut the fuck up for a while, because I've been talking for over an hour, and that ain't nothing but just like jacking off online, man. It's like mental masturbation. Ain't no kind of fun. I appreciate you guys stopping by. You know what I'd really appreciate is if you hit that fucking thumbs up button, man. Touch it, poke at it, you know, tickle it, rub it, caress it, right? Easy little gentle circles, like you're circling on that nipple. Give it a little squeeze, a little tug, a little pinch on that like button, guys. That would certainly help things out. And blessings to you, Voy. Much love and good magic. Capricorn, the devil, the horn devil. Good magic to you and blessings. Capricorn is an earth sign, right? It's the last of our earth signs in the rotation. So air on earth. Yeah, you should have a very smooth sailing day for yourself. Some quiet time, some enlightenment and ideas arising, maybe the opportunity for a mentor or guide to enter into your life, into your situation there at work. Good fun stuff, good chill energy, possibly even some treasure later in the afternoon, right? A windfall of some sudden financial gain, like nothing big, like finding a coin on the street or something, or a $2-3 bill float, $3 bill, right? Note blowing across the street. Keep your eyes open though, keep your eye on the light, your eye on the prize. Yeah, it's always nice on a Monday to stop by and see Frank Monday. I can appreciate it. Much love to you. Blessings. I'll send you guys off into the abodes of the future with a prayer. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send that blessed, divine, fortunate energy to Capricorn and Voy as they go about their day or into their night, and guide and protect them. And a little something extra for a little pep in the step. You know what I'm saying? Y'all good looking, sexy people, keep on getting out there and shaking your money maker and getting it done. Yeah, hitting the lottery. I didn't see that in the cards, but you never know, right? I didn't ask about it either. But you're going to have good fortune no matter which way you look at it, man. Miss Capricorn. Y'all keep on doing your thing. Eye in the pie. And until next time, Frank Monday from Twilight Zone Old Peking, wishing you well and wishing you good magic. Bye for now, Wayfarer.